Hey folks, I just wanted to give a quick disclaimer, just letting you know what's up. We're talking about Lost. Lost is a very complex action sci-fi drama with violence um and a lot of discussion or stuff about fatalities, kidnappings, shootings, characters getting threatened, consuming substances, etc., etc. So we're going to be kind of flippantly talking about that during this episode. So if that's not for you, this is your heads up. If you're totally cool with that, go on and proceed onto Oceanic Flight 215 and buckle up and enjoy your flight. Love you, bye. Man, Tony, it has been so long. It is so good to have you back. You were here, episode 1, season 1. We are back 4 seasons later. How does it feel?
I wasn't supposed to leave the podcast.
What? Wait, it's a rotating guest. What do you mean?
I had to come back, Romi.
I mean,
I had to come back.
Yeah, you did. You had to come. You had to come back. And now you're back.
Let's talk about Lost.
We are castaways. Ahoy there, ahoy. We are castaways. We're stuck where we are, with no house, no car. Castaways, ahoy. We are castaways.
Hello and welcome to the Hyperfixation, where my friends come onto our show and tell us things that excite them for 30 to 45 minutes or more. But guess what? Today, the timer is a truth. Today we are sticking to a 45-minute timer.
I could probably just keep talking about Lost, maybe.
I will see what happens. Maybe the timer is a lie. My name is Roma Osman. I use the they and them pronouns. And today, I'm joined by my very own, my very sweet, the love of my life, the Sawyer to my Kate.
Ew.
Just kidding. I don't know. You're the...
Nope, they're all bad people.
My partner of 3 years, Tony Anderson.
Hello. I use the he, they pronouns. It's great to be back on the show. It's been a great many moons.
It has been. Listeners at home, if you came on this gravy train kind of late and you not listened to season 1, episode 1, that is the only other episode Tony's ever been on. Tony was here for the beginning, and then I just get Tony for free every morning and evening. I get the info dumps daily.
Honestly, it's a privilege.
Like you all, if you're especially a seasoned listener, you'll hear me talk about things that Tony's been into over the entire 4 seasons of this podcast. But finally, I convinced Tony to come talk to us about this very particular and fairly new hyperfixation. Tony, do you want to, before we dive into and crash our plane, do you want to kind of just glaze over some of the hyperfixations you've had since season 1 that you can recall off the top of your head?
Yeah, I would love to get into some of the hyperfixes we've missed.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Well, it's been a long time. I've had a lot of hyperfixes. Honestly, I couldn't even really remember them all, to be frank with you, but I know Final Fantasy 16 took over for a while there. Great experience. Loved my time with it.
That one was really wild. I got so emotionally invested by proxy. Like, I think I only know what happened half the time in that game, but every time there was a conversation, I was so worried about my babies
Honestly, still worried about the babies.
and my dad.
R.I.P. to a real one. I
R.I.P.
miss
to my
Sid
dad.
every day.
All my homies love Sid.
I went ahead and caught up on One Piece. That was a hyperfix that took reins for a bit.
I mean, that's been on and off for a couple of years now, right?
Indeed, indeed. But we finally buckled down on this hyperfix. We made it from whole cake all the way to caught up. So that was a good stretch there. Nice vibes. We love to see it.
I'm still in the beginning of Wano. I need to get my shit together. You were also into Spider-Man.
Oh, yes. I platinumed Spider-Man the first week it released and continued my hyperfixation on the Spider-Mans. Absorbed a lot of Spider-Man content. I went ahead and picked up Spider-Man Life Story. I haven't read it yet, but oh my goodness, I'm so excited for it. I think it has potential. I haven't been as into comics these days as I once was, but every now and then something calls out to me and I want to get back in there. And I think Spider-Man Life Story has big potential to hit as one of my favorite Spider-Man stories. So very excited to get into that.
Wait, is that the one that one YouTuber was covering and it was really buck wild?
Yeah, and it goes through like the decades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see now. I was like, hey, yo, did you just go on Amazon and go, I need Spider-Man's life story? Like, I need the life story of Spider-Man.
Somebody get me Spider-Man's life story now.
Amazon one day delivered. Shit. What else? There's, I mean,
well, I can spill the beans.
Oh, no.
Content's been a hyperfix for me lately. It's YouTube time. I've been big into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duels, so that's how I'm gonna start it up. I got a big video coming that way. I don't know, COVID really put my timetables off a little bit. I was hoping to be released this upcoming weekend here, but we might be off schedule a little bit, but I'm hoping that we can get this weekend in.
We'll get her done. And I'll make sure all the homies here in the Discord get that link.
Oh my goodness.
Get that link. They got YouTube.
What else have we got? I don't know. I know there's been more, but I couldn't tell you.
Damn, you're right, actually. I mean, Berserk. You were into Berserk for a while?
I was into Berserk for a while. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we're gonna get a future episode of Berserk. So, I'll keep you posted.
All right.
There was something else. I don't know. Your YouTube algorithm is kind of wild.
It is.
So you just get a lot of like niche information consistently, which means I get niche information consistently.
Yeah, like I've had so many little hyperfixes that have lasted for such a flash in the pan that like I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. There was that day that we watched a lot of Jersey Shore stuff.
Yes, indeed.
And then there's the you know what? We're getting off topic. There could just be a whole episode dedicated to your YouTube algorithm.
I mean, honestly, that thing's crazy.
Mm-hmm. You know what? That would be a fun YouTube video concept.
What does my personal algorithm look like?
And it's like a psychological panel. Like, I'm like, okay, I see here we've got a little bit of horror games. We've got a lot of video essays. One Piece.
Ooh, I think a better shout. Critiquing my friends' YouTube algorithms.
Oh my god. Don't come at me.
Oh, I want to come at you.
Oh no, my YouTube algorithm.
It's a mess.
It's disgusting. You know what it is right now? It's just. Let me open it up. Judge me. I'm gonna put myself out there. All right, let's go. You want to know what the first thing that pops up?
Yeah.
Baby No Money and Rich Brian. They do a lot of stuff with Young Gravy. So we've got Young Gravy.
That was all just words. That was all just words.
I've got Jujutsu Kaisen, VTubers, Weird Amazon Finds, K9 Kuro and Shoto VTubers, doll designing, Drawfee, cursed music mashups, Iron Mouse. Oh, and Record of Ragnarok.
This all sounds incredibly Romy.
Oh, live 2D cubism tutorials, Jaden animations. Let's see. I'm trying to find anything else. Oh, Baldur's Gate dialogue. I fucking love seeing all the shit that boy says. What's his name? Asterion?
I have no knowledge of any Baldur's Gate.
Vampire guy.
I have
who's more than just hot.
There's zero knowledge. I have nothing.
And a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's and Scott Pilgrim. Yeah, that's a little bit everywhere. So what do you think?
I'm used to it.
It's not a shock to you?
Yeah, no. This all sounds incredibly Romy.
All right. I don't know what I was expecting. I thought you were going to roast me more, but I feel like it's also very roastful for you to, like, just say, yeah, I expect this from you. Hold on, let me let Satan in. He's very upset he's not podcasting. Come on,
he is a podcast boy.
Yeah, Satan is a podcaster. Listeners at home, if you don't know who Satan is, he's our cat. And he's a people's, and he helps with the dishes. He helps me cook. He wears my shoes. He helps. So let's get the train back on its track.
Okay.
I see what you're scrolling through on Google Images.
Just looking at Lost.
I would actually, you know what? I actually don't know how you got into this. How the fuck did you get into Lost?
Well, we were talking about the YouTube algorithm, and I think that's perfect to go into how I got into Lost.
God damn it.
So,
Did you do it wrong?
Oh, I definitely think I did.
Why is your YouTube on day mode? Who hurt you?
I don't ever go on YouTube on my computer.
I've never seen YouTube white before.
I don't go on YouTube on my computer.
Why isn't your settings to dark mode everything?
Listen, I didn't come out here to be attacked right now.
Do you know what I associate white background YouTube, day mode YouTube with?
What?
Free YouTube. No premium.
Oh my god. Please hold. I won't be attacked. So, Biz Barclay is a fantastic YouTuber. She made a video about the Newsies, which got the writer's strike that was happening a while back into my algorithm. And because of this, a YouTuber named Billiam, his most recent at this time of recording Lost video, Lost was insane during the writer's strike, hit into my algorithm. And I didn't know anything about Lost other than our friend Amber watched it, and she loves it. And so I watched Billiam's 3.5 hour video essay on Lost Season 4 during the writer's strike. And my goodness, if you're not watching Billiam, go hit up Billiam. Top tier YouTuber. Enjoyed the content very much. Watched all 3 of his Lost videos. Can't wait for the last one. Very big hype. And so that's how Lost kind of got involved into my algorithm. And it's around that point that you called me out.
I did?
You did this.
I did this?
You did this.
It's starting to come back to me, but I don't remember how it happened.
It happened on this very podcast.
Oh, I was caught in 4K. I was caught in a WAV format. I did call you out. I said you were super into fucking watching videos about Lost if you never fucking seen Lost. And that was a month ago?
About that, yeah.
Approximately?
About 2 weeks ago, I started watching
Jesus
Lost.
Christ. It's been 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I feel like you've been watching Lost for a month.
I've been watching a lot of Lost.
Yeah, you have.
And I've also been rewatching Billiam's videos about Lost as I'm going through Lost. I've had a fascinating way of experiencing seasons 1 through 4.
Uh-huh.
Like, I could flash, like I was Desmond. I was seeing the future before it happened, and then it would happen.
It's crazy.
And then season 5.
You enjoy Lost the same way I enjoy One Piece.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I lost my future vision.
Oh, that's right.
Starting from season 5, I had no idea what was going to be happening next. It was crazy. Uncharted territories. Lost has been wildin'.
It has been. I will say, and I'm going to start your timer in a bit.
Okay.
But I will say from my perspective, it went from Lost was never ever going to be a thing in my life that ever mattered to me. It was just going to stay something that people were super into and I would just never know about it. And that was going to be my lifelong bit. And then I called you out and then you've completely removed that timeline from me and said Lost will become a major part of my life through you. I will never not talk about Lost. I see Lost in everything now.
It's destiny.
But I've watched a handful of episodes. I've gotten the cliff notes. So I've been there's that Bed Bath and Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. I don't know, whichever.
Bed Bath and Bionicle?
No, it's their Yu-Gi-Oh podcast where they just talk about how much Yu-Gi-Oh they know from what they've watched before bed.
Oh.
And so it's like that. Like I know something's happening. And I know most of the people. And then there's a lot of characters that I have not seen yet and you talk about. And I'm like, I guess I know who that is. Like, who's Jack's dad? I don't know what he fucking looks like. But that's okay. Don't ruin this for me. I just don't want to know. No.
Okay.
Oh. Tony was
Charles Shepard will live an enigma for you.
Yeah. Or I don't know what the shadow monster is either. But we'll get into that. But so there, listeners, this is obviously we live together and I've been around for the past 2 weeks, but not for everything. So I'm going to have a basic knowledge, but we're in this together. You'll catch on just fine because we still don't know what's going on.
Yeah, over on my end, this is very impromptu. I was told an episode needs to come out this week and I've been watching a lot of Lost.
Yep.
So I'm pretty much just going to be throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Hey, you know what? I'm just happy to have you here. I
Hey,
get to talk to you. I know you're in another room and we could just do this every day, but I get to do this with you on my time. While I eat chocolate.
Jesus is meowing.
He's podcasting.
So I guess I could just start at the beginning, you know?
All right, I'm getting that timer.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I think so.
3, 2. Oh no, it took away the 45 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Podcast.
All right. So, Oceanic Flight 815 is schmoovin' and cruising on their way to LAX from Sydney, Australia.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt you?
Yeah.
That's a fantastic Wi-Fi password to have.
Oceanic Flight 815?
Should we update our Wi-Fi, or not password, should we update our Wi-Fi name to Oceanic Flight 815?
You know, I do think that be pretty lit, actually. Maybe we should do that.
Is it doxing ourselves if I say what our Wi-Fi is now?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. You don't get to know what our Wi-Fi name is now, but it's great. You just need to know that. I'm sorry. Don't mean to derail you in like literally 1 minute, and I love you. Please continue.
So they're cruising, they're flying, they're off course, and yeah, their plane just breaks in half, you know? Yeah,
Me too, though, honestly.
it happens to the best of us.
Me
Crashes on island. So we get a main cast. There's like 48 or 42 or 46 or 40 something survivors. Scott and Steve are there. You know the vibe. So, but those people aren't important. We have people that are important. Where do you want to start, you know? We could talk about Jack. Let's talk about Dr. Jack Shepard.
I forget he's a doctor. Like, I know he's a doctor, but I just consistently forget that he has, like, the school swagger, like, authority that is being a doctor. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, he's a spinal surgeon, so he's always right about everything.
Yeah, no, he's a fucking asshole.
I fucking hate Jack. Can I curse on here? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, you can fucking do whatever you fucking want.
All right.
I feel so bad if I do have listeners who are like, please stop swearing for the love of God. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I hate Jack. I hate Jack so much. I hate a lot of these characters so much. And I love them because I hate them. Like, they're all great characters.
Yeah.
So Jack Shepard, he's here because he just has to bury his dad. Just let me on the plane with my dead dad so I can bury my dead dad so it can be over.
Shit, dude, is this all daddy issues?
Jack's whole existence is daddy issues.
Fuck.
Daddy issues, and I don't think I'm good enough.
Man, I didn't realize. I should have known it was daddy issues.
Of course it's daddy issues. There's a lot of daddy issues, actually. In fact, pretty exclusively daddy issues.
For everyone?
I mean, not everyone, but might as well.
Okay.
Like Kate killed her dad.
Oh.
Sawyer's dad killed himself and his mom.
Bro.
Claire's dad's Jack's dad.
Awkward.
Hugo's dad dipped. John's dad pushed him out a window and paralyzed him and stole his kidney.
I didn't know about any of that. I thought John's dad just wanted him to be a cult leader or some shit.
No. No, John's dad had nothing to do with that.
Oh. I thought, wait, where did I get that from then?
No idea.
I dreamt it, I guess.
A lot of people do want John to be a cult leader, kind of.
Well, it sounded like it's like, well, my father made me this way. Like, I don't know where I got that. Maybe. You know
I mean, his father kind of made him this way.
That's fair. I'm sorry. Continue. Who else has daddy issues?
Soon's dad doesn't approve of Jin, but still let Jin marry Soon as long as Jin worked for him for like Korean mafia stuff. So they both got issues with Soon's dad, but it's a whole thing.
Buy one, get one. Shit, dude.
And Desmond doesn't have issues with his own dad, as far as I know, but he's got issues with his wife's dad, Charles Widmore, who's a problem.
I just heard that name today. I know who that is.
And Ben kills his dad, and his dad was abusive. You know those vibes.
I didn't know he killed.
It's crazy how many daddy issues there are.
Okay.
In fact, the only person I'm looking at this picture who I don't know about having daddy issues is probably Juliet. Saeed, I can't say for sure, but
No,
I know
Saeed's dad literally said, "Kill this chicken right now with your bare hands."
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she can have some. She can have it for free if she wants it.
I think, probably opening up here with let's talk about these people's dad issues was probably the most appropriate way to start this.
I never even thought about it like. I just assumed, like anyone else, that it was a random plane crash and we were just seeing people try to survive and escape, and nobody in the entire time that I've heard about Lost has mentioned anything about Dharma.
Well, let me. Oh my goodness. Do you want to talk about Dharma real quick?
Actually, I do.
Okay. So.
I almost called it Dharma Industries.
So the Dharma Initiative is a research group that kind of vibed on the island from the 70s to the 90s. And they were doing a lot of studies on time and space and wonky shit that the island does. Because the island's just crazy out here. So, excuse me. They had beef with the Hostiles, they called them. Richard's group.
Richard is just the lead actor from the Lucifer show.
Is he?
No, I'm saying
he does look similar, but I would have believed if he was him.
No, I feel like the dude, being immortal, time traveled and watched that show on Netflix and went, "That's how I'm going to portray my character." But it's actually probably the other way around. But no, he just carries himself like that guy from Lucifer.
I do love him very much.
Yes. Dharma Initiative.
So yeah, they were just doing a lot of studies in sciences and stuff of that nature. They eventually they messed up. They had an incident with electromagnetism that caused a huge cataclysm and ultimately would necessitate the need for the hatch. Are you familiar with the hatch?
The one that blew up?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in season 1, John Locke and Boone, Damon from the Vampire Diaries, and I'm from this point on not going to call him Boone anymore. I will only refer to him as Damon from the Vampire Diaries if he comes up. So, wait, I can't hear you. Did you mute?
No, I did mute, but I didn't say anything, thankfully, in this period of time. I just do think it's very funny that I did not put 5 and 6 together to realize that was Damon from the Vampire Diaries.
So yeah, they find a hatch in season 1, and Locke's convinced this is his destiny, yo. Boone will Damon from the Vampire Diaries will ultimately die in a plane trying to follow Locke. This will affect the Locke.
Yeah.
But yes, this hatch, inside of this hatch, in our initial current times, is one of my favorite characters, Desmond. He's in a hatch, putting in some numbers every 108 minutes. Those numbers are 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Execute. You do that once the alarm goes off. It doesn't register before that. Now, what this is actually doing is it's dispersing a buildup of the electromagnetism that keeps building up since the incident when Dharma drilled too far. They hit a big pocket of electromagnetism. There's also something that might be very powerful in there Now, please bear in mind, everyone, I'm actually, let me look real quick. The TV's paused. I'm on season 6, episode 5, Lighthouse of Lost right now.
We ate dinner before this episode was recorded, and Tony was like, well, to get ready for this episode, I should probably catch up on some Lost.
I really just want to know what the smoke monster's name is, and I wanted to know that before
it's Greg.
coming here.
Tell him.
Greg?
It's Greg.
Okay. So, yeah, then eventually Ben Linus? Not Craig, Ben Linus.
Wait, is that everyone's favorite asshole?
Buggy-eyed?
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah.
Yes. He was a member of the Dharma Initiative. He was not born there, but he's been there since he was very young. His dad was a janitor for them. He ends up joining the others after Saeed travels through time and shoots him as a kid. We'll talk about that later, maybe. But yeah, he joins the others, and ultimately he will, with the help of the others, release a gas that will kill all of the members of the Dharma Initiative.
Whoa.
Yeah, he genocides them real quick.
I didn't know that. Wait, did he do this as a kid?
No. He's an adult at this point.
Okay. Because I remember in the flashback, he was super into hanging out with him.
He will say at one point that... Now, here's the thing about listening to Ben Linus. You got to take every single word that's ever come out of his mouth with a grain of salt. That's what I'm finding.
Wait, but he you can't. He says everything so seriously, like it's a life or death situation. Like,
and it always is. And like, because sometimes it is going to be the move to listen to him, but sometimes it's not, because sometimes he's manipulating you, and you never know. You never know. Even as an audience member, I still never know.
Damn.
Now, what I will say is, at one point in talking about this genocide, he said that he was just following orders from the leader of the others. And I don't remember who was talking to him about this, but that person said, I thought you were their leader. And he responded with, not always. So this could mean either he did the genocide on orders of Jacob, or he wasn't the leader of the others at that point yet. Charles Widmore was. And I think that's the more realistic shout.
Wait,
shoot.
Is he dead?
Charles Widmore? No. No. At some point in time, Charles Widmore's an other. He's not a member of the Dharma Initiative. At some point, Ben will banish Charles Widmore off of the island, and Widmore will spend the next 20 years trying to find his way back.
That freaking...
Yeah, there's so much. Also, during the 70s, some of our main characters will be living with the Dharma Initiative as they travel through time.
Oh yeah, the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Love the 70s.
Yeah, that's Dharma Initiative.
Ew.
This will end poorly.
I'm very excited, and I'm just putting this as like an out there, and that's something we already discussed. I definitely remember hearing that the ending people didn't like, but I am very curious. I just want to know. I want to know how this ends.
I can't help you there. I also would like to know how this ends, and I'm very excited to get to the ending, because a fun thing about me is a lot of the time when I hear people don't like an ending, like, it's a coin flip on if I'm actually going to like that ending a lot.
You sound like Clockwest.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, Clockwest has probably not the exact same, if I'm remembering incorrectly, but definitely very similar opinions on endings and such for like popular things.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, there's so much to talk about with Lost.
There really is. What do you want to talk about next? Like, do you want to talk about how you said earlier when we were talking about daddy issues, you kind of thought these were all just people on a plane?
Yeah.
That couldn't be further from the truth.
Oh no.
So, you've recently, sitting down with me over here in season 6, have met a man named Jacob.
I really actually let me look up his actor because that's bothering. Yes, we were talking about Jacob.
So, can I tell you what I know about Jacob so far?
Yes.
There's so much to talk about to be able to talk about. It's fine. We're going to talk about Jacob and the smoke monster.
Okay.
So a long time ago on the island, there was a big statue. I'm actually going to look it up to show you. This was the big statue on the island.
Oh. I'm still looking up actor. Oh, that's a fucking statue.
Current days, all that's left is this foot. Jacob lives in here.
Jacob's in there?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it's his home.
That's where I live.
So, how's your looking up of the actor going?
His name is Mark Pellegrino, and he's in, of the things I've seen some Dexter. He's in The Big Lebowski, and he's in Supernatural.
Okay. Who's he playing Supernatural?
I'm about to find out, actually. Oh, he's Lucifer.
Okay, it all comes together.
That's where I know him from. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. So, way back when, in, like, I don't know, slaver times, I guess, there was a slaver ship called the Black Rock that was coming to the island, and that's the only reason I have this timetable, is because it puts that back somewhere in slaver times. But also time's weird on the island, so this could be even further back than that. Oh, whom's can say, actually? Oh, goodness.
The time axis.
The time axis. So, Jacob is chilling on the coast, and a man shows up with a beard and gray hair, and I don't want to look him up because I don't want to get spoilers for Lost because I don't know a whole lot about this man yet.
I'll look him up. What's his name?
I don't know.
What does he do?
He's the smoke monster.
All right.
Maybe look up smoke monster human, but don't give me any more than that. But
I like when I wrote it in, it auto-corrected to human. I put lost smoke monster human, and then it was like human resources.
Hey, yo. Yes, he's the lost human resources.
Yeah, this CGI is shit.
What? That was so out of pocket. It's like the early 2000s. Leave them alone. They hold up so well.
Me and Joanna agree on one thing. It looks bad.
Let's actually, real quick, hold on. Lost still looks really good. Sure, their visual effects, whenever they have to whip those out, they look rough. Because it was the early 2000s. It was the 2000s. The 2000s were rough. But everything else looks good still. Did you
what
find
season are you in?
6? In the last season?
Okay.
Did you find the man you were looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
not saying shit.
this guy is talking with Jacob, and he's like, I don't know why you brought these people here. They always do the same thing. They corrupt and they destroy, and it always ends the same. And Jacob's like, well, that's the thing about the end. Like, nothing ends until it's over. Everything up until then is just progress. And, home guy, who's the smoke monster, is like, bad, I want to kill you. And Jacob's like, yeah, I know, but you can't, so what else? And he's, I'm gonna find a loophole one day. And Jacob's like, sure you are, bud. And I think that's the origin point of how Lost happens.
What?
I think their beef and manipulating and pushing people is Lost. And that's my
Okay.
theory so
Okay.
far. That's
Um,
my season 6, episode 5 theory.
Can I just say that this is the second episode in a row where I have wanted to say, is this more Kingdom Hearts 2 people playing chess against each other like in Light and Dark bullshit? Is it?
Yeah,
Fucking fuck.
but
I hate it
maybe.
here.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm silly. Maybe I'm on the wrong side of history, but it just sounds like the smoke monster's got some valid points, you ask me.
Whoa.
Why doesn't Richard know what a candidate is? Why hasn't he told him that? Why? Yeah, no. I
Hey,
get it.
you know
Listen.
what? You lost me.
Okay, so Richard, I think he was on the Black Rock. I think he was a slave on the Black Rock. I think this because when the smoke monster, who is now in John Locke's appearance,
Does that bother you?
Yes,
What?
so much because John Locke's dead.
Oh.
So he looks to Richard and he says, "It's good to see you out of those chains." And Richard's like, "You," and he's like, "Me." And then he knocks Richard out. Yeah, he's talking with Richard later, and he's like, John Locke was a candidate, and Richard's like, a candidate for what? And Smoke Monster in John Locke's face just looks so sad at Richard, and he's just like, he didn't tell you? Like, Jacob didn't tell you anything? I'm so sorry, Richard. I never would have done that to you. I never would have kept you in the dark all this time. And like, I don't know. He's kind of got some points.
Hey, yo.
I don't know. I'm probably on the wrong side of history.
I couldn't say, but that sounds, whatever happened sounds shitty.
Well, you see, Jacob, he's interacted with all of our main cast.
The devil, Lucifer.
In their lives. Yeah, he's appeared to all of them, and he's got their names written up in a cave as candidates, according to Smoke Monster John Locke talking to Sawyer, candidates to take his Jacob spot to protect the island, but protect it from what? From nothing. The island doesn't need protecting. Let's leave. He pushed these people's lives to get them here, I don't know. Maybe Jacob's the problem is all I'm saying.
You know what I said to you earlier today? That the actor that they have for Jacob has the perfect face for a bad guy, but like, I don't know if I said this explicitly, but the kind that will definitely manipulate you into thinking that he's the good guy, and then at the end you're like, I knew it, but I trusted you so much.
And
you know what I'm talking about?
I definitely do. And you know who else has that kind of face?
John Locke?
John Locke.
I pulled that out of my ass. Yeah, John Locke actually has fucked me up a few times.
So who do I trust here, Like, what?
Hurley, obviously.
I mean, that's
I
the
love
thing,
Hurley.
though. Dead Jacob's talking to Hurley now and guiding him.
Well, I would too. I would be manipulated by, he's he he's good with words,
he,
right?
he is good with words. He do just be talking.
And yeah, when people use good words, and then I go, I guess this makes sense, right?
When he appeared to Hurley in Hurley's life, it was to convince him to get back to the island. And
Is that when he was going nuts?
yeah, during
Oh
that time
no.
frame, I guess.
Well, I won't want to say nuts because he seemed pretty like.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's just talking to dead people,
Don't we all?
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like they're not there. They're there.
Um, man, I want to know what that process was because I wasn't present for it. But how did Hurley manage to effectively? I mean, like understanding the situation where weird shit keeps happening on the island, but how do you go like, "Hey, everyone, I'm actively speaking to our deceased friends here," but they just kind of show up as they please. Can we be normal about it?
Well, he's really only told one person about this, and that's Miles. And that's because Miles can kind of feel the last thoughts of dead people when he's in their area. And so him and Hurley actually had a back and forth talking about their different experiences of how they interact with the dead, and both of them telling the other that's not how it works. But then Hurley finishing it with, "No, it's fine. You're just mad because my power is better than yours."
That's some shit Hurley say too. Like, I fucking love him so much.
And he's recently told Jack that he's talking to Jacob, but that's a Jacob situation, so everyone just kind of accepts it when you say you're talking to Jacob.
We like just got that, so it's fresh in my head. Where he's like, Jacob's like, "Oh yeah, how about you just say this sentence to him. He'll go with it." And Hurley's like, "You're fucking crazy, but I guess." And then hits him with that line of you are enough. Or something like that. What was it?
You have what it takes.
Yeah.
Which
and activate daddy issues activated. Let's go.
You mean a fatherly looking figure thinks I have what it takes? I'm ready to die for him.
Honestly, same. I get it.
And that's the Jack story. Hurley won the lottery using the numbers that you type in.
For real?
Yeah, but they were cursed, kind of, maybe.
Cursed?
Yeah.
Should I try to use those numbers for the lottery?
I don't know, because if you look up the lost number sequence, like the second thing on Google is, has anyone ever won the lottery using the numbers from Lost?
Has it? You know what? We should do that tomorrow.
It looks like they have at least one once.
All right, let's do it tomorrow.
Oh.
No cap.
It looks like it's won at least 26,000 times as of 2011, I guess. Or in 2011. Almost 26,000 fans won $150 each.
So, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
So, say we do what Hurley did. What kind of curse does he have?
Well, a lot of people around him just die a lot.
Oh.
The chicken place he bought that he worked at, that he quit and then he purchased, it got hit by a meteor with Trisha Tanaka inside.
Who's Trisha Tanaka?
She was a interviewer.
Bro. Maybe we're not actually gonna do that.
Yeah, Hurley gave all that money away.
Is he still cursed?
No. but he had the island.
Okay.
And the numbers still show up. The numbers haven't
4,
left.
8, 15, 16, 23, 42. What is with that number sequence? What is the thing about all of them?
Well, let's look at the numbers page on Lostpedia.
Oh gosh.
The numbers 4, 8, 15. Oh, wait, I can't look at this. Actually, that might be spoilers. Hang on. I can't. Let's chill.
Don't make me do something I'm gonna regret.
I can't go too deep. I'm not ready yet.
I bet you there's people who are super into Lost listening to this and wait, no, don't do it! Stop!
Like, they're gonna give a huge reveal about the numbers in season 6, episode 6, and then I'm gonna feel like a fool.
You're about to learn for yourself. And there's everyone else who's like me that's like, I'm never gonna watch it, tell me.
I am so sorry for those people. Maybe you can, in post, talk about the numbers.
No. I'll find out when I find out.
But, what else do you want to talk about Lost?
I would like to talk about Sawyer.
You want to talk about Sawyer?
I want to talk about my favorite magnificent bastard.
Well, Sawyer's
he looks
kind
like
of... Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have to make a Nickelback joke. He's gonna hand you a thing and say, look at this graph.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I got for you.
Sawyer's a piece of shit, but at least he's
our
charming. Yeah. What do I have to say about Sawyer? He deserved better every step of the way.
Did he?
I mean, he should have just lived better, frankly. But I don't know. He's always being...
I felt like you were going to say skill issue after that.
I mean, honestly, kinda, yeah, skill issue.
Sawyer, skill issue.
I can't tell you how many times all Sawyer had to do was not be a piece of shit for 5 seconds and his life would have been so much better. I've seen him this man is self-sabotaging incarnate.
Oh my god. I love to hear it.
He's like, if there was a shitty coin and heads would be Jack and tails would be Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
They're two sides of the same shitty coin. They just have a different way about it.
There's two different kinds of issues.
Indeed. Sawyer's daddy issues ties into John Locke's daddy issues.
Oh no.
So when Sawyer was a young boy, a con man who would later be revealed to be John Locke's dad, conned Sawyer's mom out of stealing like his dad's money to pool together, quote unquote, with Locke's dad's money, but Locke's dad just took her money and dipped. And then Sawyer's dad found out about this, killed Sawyer's mom, and then killed himself while Sawyer was under the bed.
Oh.
So at his funeral, Sawyer starts writing what will later be the note that he will have throughout all of his life. Dear Mr. Sawyer, you don't know who I am, but I know who you are. Because Sawyer was the name that John's dad was using during the con. James Ford is Sawyer's real name.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Actually, his pen started dying while he was writing that letter, and who would appear to give him a new pen to write with? Jacob.
Hey yo.
Yeah. He would eventually give this letter to John Locke's dad, who somehow got to the island, and would make him read the letter the way he wanted to, and then John Locke's dad tore the letter in half, and he killed him. He did the kill. GG's. Easy.
Ew. You're not supposed to do that. Legal.
Currently, where I am with Sawyer, Juliet just died, and that hurts.
Stop.
It hurts. It hurts.
You guys need to know that Tony's infatuated with Juliet.
Her face.
Would make
This
she would do the same with her eyebrows, where she'd look at you like a mom who is like omnipotent and knows everything you're doing, but will say everything really calmly.
That smile frown.
Yeah, with the eyebrows like kind of furrowing a little bit.
Yeah.
It just talks very direct to you, like through your soul. So Tony started doing that. And I had to tell them to stop. Because it felt like Tony just pulled in like the most milfish energy anyone could ever just possess in one moment from nowhere, and then start talking to me with Juliet's facial expressions. And it was a lot.
Oh my goodness.
I thought I was gonna get like grounded or some shit. Not even in like the cool way. I was just scared. Tony.
All of this to say, Sawyer and Juliet were together for 3 years in the 70s and fell in love. He was going to ask her to marry him and everything. It was
He would. Fucking asshole.
Well, he was turning around. He had a life and they were okay. They were happy.
Yeah, well, what about his broken relationship with Kate? He was supposed to be with Kate.
No. Kate's just gonna keep running, because that's all Kate does. And Sawyer doesn't need that in his life. Sawyer needed a Juliet, and Jack's a piece of shit. So he needed to stay away from Juliet, but I know he wouldn't, because he's Jack, and he's gotta have his cake and eat it too, and his dad's dead. They should have.
All their dads are dead, Tony. It doesn't make a difference.
So frustrating. No, Sawyer has every right to be upset.
What?
And that's why he's hanging out with Smoke Monster John Locke right now.
They're besties.
The last I heard about somebody talking about Smoke Monster John Locke was that he's recruiting. I don't know what this means. I'm excited to find out.
Find out next time on Lost.
And I Sawyer, yeah, he just he finally stopped self-sabotaging, to be honest with you. But also Juliet has a lot of self-doubt and issues like that. And, a lot of it was founded with him and Kate, but she also, she knew that Sawyer would just stay with her, even if those residual feelings for Kate were there. Sawyer, I feel like he changed over those 3 years, I feel like she got too, I feel like she mixed herself, and I feel like it didn't need to be like this.
Wait, did they break up?
She's dead.
Oh, yeah, they broke up.
She didn't, the situation that got her to be dead, didn't need to go down like that. I won't lie to you. They just should have stayed on that submarine. They just should have left. Let Jack do his nuke thing, because he ends up doing his nuke thing anyway, and now the timeline might be split. Maybe, I don't know what's happening now. They screwed the pooch on this one.
Screwed the pooch.
Yeah. So the way Lost is formatted in season 1 and 2 and 3 is they'll do flashbacks for the characters that will usually correlate with what's happening in their time on the island. And then we get the season 3 finale, which we're looking at a Jack flashback, but he's got beard and he's really off the deep end and things are really wild for him. I mean, he's off the hinges. And that's when we get the reveal in the season 3 finale that we weren't in a Jack flashback. We were in the Jack flash forward. He got off the island. But we weren't supposed to leave, Kate. We have to go back. And so then the format becomes the flash forward, or like they excuse me. They do the flash forwards from like addressing what's going on for the people in the future, getting off the island, correlating with how these people end up getting off the island and what's going on in the island and why they're going to end up needing to go back. Very good formatting. I love season 4.
Very, very good.
And then season 5, we are half in the 70s, half in the current times, and we are having flashbacks and flash arounds. We're flashing.
Flashing.
So, what's up?
Yeah, no, I just want to comment on that. Especially like when I'm walking in, not watching the episode consistently, it is super jarring to look at what's going on. And it's like, okay, is this the main timeline? Are we in the 70s? Is this a flashback? Is this a flash forward? Or is this an AU where the writers just decided to fucking make AUs for everyone?
Well, yeah. So, okay. So the season 5 finale.
Yeah.
So Jack gets it in his head that the reason they had to go back, which they ultimately end up doing, is now they're in the 70s with the people who stayed behind, who've been now living in the 70s for 3 years. The people who were off the island were living off the island for 3 years. But now they're back in the 70s. And honestly, like, things immediately go wrong. And Sawyer James had a great bar to Jack, where he's like, a flaming bus ended up going through a building, and everyone's like running out to go see what's going on in the Dharma Initiative in the 70s. And Jack's like, what happened? And Sawyer looks at him and he goes, 3 years, not a single burning bus. Y'all are back for one night.
Yeah, that shit was funny. Now okay, to get back to on Sawyer for like 2 seconds, I can now see your point better of like, I never thought about it that way, where he was just living his life, doing his best.
He was finally happy. And y'all are back for one night.
Mr. LaFleur, man.
So Jack gets it in his head because of Daniel Faraday, who does time travel and all of this fun time travel stuff, that they are here because they have to nuke the hatch before it's the hatch at the time that the incident happens that makes it the hatch, because in the future, when it's the hatch and Desmond's in there, one day he doesn't push the buttons and he doesn't put the code in time, and it messes stuff up, and it causes the electromagnetic burst that rips their plane in half. So, if there's never an incident, there's never a hatch to put in a code to make their plane blow up, to make none of this go down like this. So we have to nuke it.
We don't?
It's Jack's idea, though, so he's got to be right.
Totally. Yeah?
So imagine you're Sawyer.
Oh, no. You didn't put the code in! What's the code? Tell me no for real, what's the fucking code?
Oh my goodness.
I can't press the button until you tell me the code.
We got 4, 8. Oh shit. Oh no.
Tony, no!
I'm choking. 15, 16, 23, 42.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Thank you for playing along with me.
Happy to.
Oh my god.
Needless to say, this will kill the Juliet to set off this nuke, but they do set
No.
off the nuke, and now we have a fractured timeline.
Fractured but whole?
I don't know. But that's
Man.
where I'm gonna have to leave you.
Shit, dude.
But honestly, just imagine your Sawyer.
Imagine. You know what, Tony? I'm okay. If you are in the Discord or even on YouTube, I know this shit posts on YouTube. If you just somehow comment or message or whatever to indicate that you want to hear Tony talk about Lost more, I can promise you, that shit happen.
Oh my goodness!
I promise you. Because maybe it's biased, maybe. But I could listen to Tony talk about this shit all day.
Hey,
because I do.
If you're just happy to have me come in here and you tell me something you want to know about Lost, I'll just start spitting off things. We can do more of this. We barely scratched anything here.
I know. Can I also share? We have a kiddo, and that kiddo is also interested in what's going on in Lost. And so it was really, really adorable and like also hilarious to hear you like update them about the current happenings in Lost and them being like, what?
Yeah, because they were so invested throughout season 2, and then went back to their mother for the week and then came back for us for the weekend. And so by that point, now I'm in season 5. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Oh, and then what do you call it? So the kid and I were watching this. There's 2 incidences. I put on Total Drama Island.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, this is just baby's first Lost or some shit like that. And so I proceeded to pause at every single character introduction during the intro. And I was like, Tony, who's this in Lost?
It was so stressful.
And it was funny too, because there's a lot of characters that I know that I knew there was more characters, but I didn't remember who I was missing. So every time I would pause, Tony's like, who is this? Oh my, it was the funniest shit ever. It was so good. I wish I was recording it. It was beautiful.
I think my somebody I had said was Scott and Steve, and that was probably
it was, I don't, hold on.
Peak of the bit. For those of you who don't know at home, while Romi looks up what they're looking up, Scott and Steve are 2 characters in Lost. One of them is dead. Which one? I don't know. Because the bit with them is somebody will bring up Scott or Steve to a character, and the character they're talking to will say, if they said, well, Steve's over there, they'll be like, that's Scott, Steve's dead. But sometimes a character will be like, hey, Scott's over there, and they'll be like, no, that's Steve, Scott's dead. Nobody can remember which one's which. That's the bit, and I love it. It's great.
It's Noah and Ezekiel, who you thought was Scott and Steve.
Yeah, they are Scott and Steve. I'm pretty sure they're both dead at this point. Not gonna lie.
Who's Jack again? Was it Trent?
Probably.
Or was it DJ?
No, it wasn't DJ.
No. Jack was fuck, what's his name? Justin.
My Total Drama Island knowledge is not good enough that I can see them, but I don't know their names.
The hot one.
That doesn't help.
You're right. But yeah, no, that was a very fun game to play. And then the second instance was our kid's super into Toka Boca and watches these like YouTube role plays with it. And so sometimes they're interesting, sometimes they're not. But this one that we were watching was a little like series on group of people who crashed in a plane and were stranded on a deserted island. Um, but I didn't realize until like after watching this for like over an hour of just different parts of this role play was the reason the plane crashed was because an old lady shit her pants on the plane and it caused the pilots to crash.
Hashtag lost. Jacob
It
probably
was-
made that happen.
Oh my god. No cap. It was like, ma'am, we're gonna land the plane in 20 minutes. She's like, I'm gonna shit and piss myself in 20 minutes. I promise you that. Sure enough. It's just insane. But I was interested. I was watching. I was curious. It's a great premise. What happens if you put a bunch of people on a supernatural island? Hello?
I'm sorry. My brain shut off for a second.
You're valid.
I was thinking about Lost.
You got lost thinking about Lost?
Yeah.
I love that for you.
So as much as I do love being on the podcast, I wasn't supposed to leave the couch.
No.
I wasn't supposed to stop watching Lost. I have to go back.
All right. Well, we have to get into the submarine to get through the outros, and then we could get you back on a plane to crash back onto the island
All right.
of the couch.
Sounds solid.
Yeah. I hope that made sense. I said words.
If we don't learn how to live together, we're gonna die alone.
Keep saying that shit. I'm gonna make you do the outros by yourself. It's been over a year. You remember? You can do? Nope.
Nope, not at all.
Hey yo. All right. Well then, so if I can make a cool reference. If the listeners were to write you a letter to say please don't rip off my mom, I'm gonna come find you. No, that's a bad one. Where can listeners find you in the 70s?
Oh,
No, I can do a better reference.
Yeah, hit it. Try another one. One more.
All right. Nope. Where can listeners talk to you like ghosts? Like, how can listeners talk to you like Curly talks to dead?
Okay.
Is that good? Is that something?
I mean, it's not nothing.
I'm going back to the drawing board. I'll go back to the island.
Well, I can I guess I can be found at Anderson's Pride, I think, on Twitter. It's been a while since I've done outros. If you want to pop on YouTube in like a week or two, you can check out my new YouTube content. I'll be Anderson's Pride on YouTube. We'll be starting
SEN.
off. What?
Anderson SEN.
SEN. I'll be
no SONs here.
I'll be starting off with a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel grind to master video. The title will be better than that. But yeah, that's what I've been working on, and I'll be keeping up the YouTube content. Got some fun stuff getting geared up there, so yeah.
Geared up. I'm so excited for it. You can find me on the internet at I appreciate your butt at the twitter.com. That is IAPPRECI, the number 8 URBUTT. And I don't post nearly as much as I used to. Twitter died, and so did I. Blue Sky came around, but I just don't use social media. I used to, but that's okay. I am on TikTok a lot though, so you can find the podcast at Blue Sky, Twitter, and TikTok at the Hyperfix Pod. And you can also find us at patreon.com/the Hyperfixation. So you too can get stuff early and support the podcast, honestly. And you know who supports this podcast? Tony, do you know who supports our podcast?
Viewers like you. Thank you.
Oh my God. Currently, we have supporting our lovely podcast here. Oh, I get to show off to you because you haven't been on since before we had a Patreon. Babe, look, Morgan Gate Lovin supports the podcast. We love Morgan.
Heck yeah, Morgan.
Morgan Goodbean. Flo supports our podcast, so we love Flo. Flo Goodbean.
Goodbean.
Goodbean. You remember Ken?
I'm a
You remember
Ken.
Hey It's Ken?
Yeah. Goodbean.
Hey It's Ken is here.
Oh my goodness.
And you know who you also remember?
Mm-hmm.
Becky Scott Fairley's here.
Oh my goodness. Goodbeans.
And I know you definitely remember this. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Ver's here.
Oh my goodness. Goodbeans.
Good bean. Thank you for supporting our show. And also thank you to the Moonshot Network for supporting this podcast. And you can find the Moonshot Network at Moonshot Pods on the Twitter.com or the Blue Skies or wherever, Tumblr. And you can also find them at moonshotpods.com, where you can find our website. Or if you want to see us visually instead of auditorily, you can go to moonshot.mov, and their Twitter or YouTubes are there. Thank you to Offuscate, that is OFUSKATE, for the intro and outro music. You can check them out on Instagram and SoundCloud and Twitter. Do I have to thank anyone else? I'm editing the episode, so you thank me.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I think that's it. I think I did all the things. I hope all of you are safe out there. And you drink your water. And you know what, actually? Tony, can you give me a be safe, don't die? Or something be safe, don't die? A lost themed. Go back to the island and be safe, don't die. Just
be safe together, don't die alone.
Oh. Be safe together, don't die alone, and adieu?
Adieu.
Do you miss getting kicked in the face at Warped Tour?
Did you shatter your glasses in a mosh pit in 2007?
Did you wear more studded belts than a Final Fantasy character?
Then we have the show for you.
We are So Emo I Fell Apart, a podcast about third wave emo, late night live journal updates, burnt hair, and everything in between.
Join us every second Saturday as we examine major moments in the history of emo and keep you updated on current events.
Because it was never a phase.